Hi friends, today I would like to tell you something about time dilation. Time dilation, what is it? In simple terms, time dilation refers to the slowing down of time. Before going into the details, let me give you a brief introduction. Well, time seems to be constant in our everyday life, right? We never come across a situation where the time slows down or time stops. We take time for granted, and the steady flow of time is so reliable that we fit our lives around it. Even Sir Isaac Newton thought time was constant. He gave the idea of a clockwork universe. This model assumed that time flows at an ever constant rate. But as brilliant as Newton was, he was quite wrong. He believed that events happen in time but do not affect time. Anything may happen, like a bomb blast or a gun being fired or someone jumping or running or moving, but it does not affect time. This was the idea prevailed before Einstein. But Newton was quite wrong. Next we go to our very own Albert Einstein. In 1905, Albert Einstein published the theory of special relativity. There are two main postulates, and it is very important to understand these postulates before going into the concept of time dilation. The first postulate is that the laws of physics is same for all inertial frame of reference, which means that consider we are in a plane which is moving at a speed of 800 km per hour, and we throw a ball down. The ball would move the same way as it would have if we were stationary on the ground. So it behaves in the same way. So it means that the laws of physics is same. Here inertial means that it is at rest or at uniform motion, which basically means no acceleration. And the second postulate is very, very, very important. The speed of light is constant for all observers, and it has very serious implication. This is fundamental to understand that concept of time dilation. I will explain that with an example. See, we have two cars, a gray car and a green car. The gray car is moving at the speed of 2.5 km per hour, and the green car is moving at the speed of 5 km per hour. The gray car, from the perspective of the green car is moving at the speed of 2.5 km per hour. Why? Because he is already moving at the speed of 2.5 km. He is moving at the speed of 5 km. So, relative velocity. But the same does not apply to light. Consider there is a bulb and it shoots a beam of light. Both these cars would see the speed of light to be the same. But how can it be so? As both of the speeds are different, they should perceive the speed of light to be different, right? But it is not so. So it is the speed of light is absolute. C, which is the speed of light, is constant for all observers, whether we are moving towards it or away from it, and that is the reason behind time dilation. So, how does time actually slow down? Let me show you a clock. This clock is stationary, and our clock works by bouncing a beam of light between two mirrors. When the light bounces once, then the clock would tick once. That's how our clock works. So, when the light beam reaches here, it ticks once. Let's consider the same clock to be moving, and we can see that this beam of light travels a more distance for each pass than the stationary clock. See, this path is greater than this path right over here. So, if we still accept that each pass of light between the two mirrors is the same unit of time, or a second for instance, then We have to say that the same unit of time now takes longer to pass because the speed of light is constant. C is constant, distance has increased, the time is the same unit, which means that the same unit of time is now longer. That is the very concept of time dilation at high speeds. I hope you understood this concept. For a stationary clock, the path is this, and for a moving clock, this path is longer, but the speed of light is same, and the unit of time is also the same. But so the same unit of time should be larger for a moving clock. Now, I would give you a fantastic mathematical equation for determining how much the time has slowed down. Now, consider this. There is a stationary guy who's watching our previous mirror, a moving mirror, pass by, and the clock, and we can see that the time perceived by this person, that is the time taken by the light beam to go from here to here is t prime, according to him, Bill, his Bill. But according to the clock, the time passed is just t. So this is the distance traveled by the light. So it is c times t prime, which is distance into time is equal to, velocity into time is equal to distance. So c times t prime. And let's see, consider that the speed of the clock is v. Then this distance is equal to v times t prime. Then this is the distance traveled by the light beam according to the clock. From the perspective of the clock, the light has traveled vertically downwards, and that is c times t. Then by applying the basic Pythagoras theorem, c times ct prime whole squared is equal to ct whole squared plus vt prime whole squared. Then by opening the bracket, we get this equation. Then by dividing the whole equation by c squared, we get this equation. Let's take all the t primes to one side. Then let's take t prime outside because it's common in these two terms. We got it in this form. Let's take t prime alone on one side and take this to this side and take the square root of it. So the final equation would look like this. T prime, which is the stationary time, the time observed by Bill, is equal to the moving time or the time experienced by the clock divided by the root of 1 minus v squared by c squared. Well, why don't we see time stopping or slowing down in our everyday life? Because in our everyday life, v is extremely small compared to c. Let's see a graph for this. This graph shows that as we approach the speed of light, even at 75% speed of light, the time dilation is only 25%. But as we approach 99%, the time dilation is very high. So that's the reason why we don't observe time dilation, but it has been proven. So let's recap. Time dilation essentially means moving clocks run slower. As we approach the speed of light, time slows down, and if we finally approach speed of light, time will stop. Time dilation is also relative. So if the clock was to see Bill, the clock would think that it is Bill's time which is running slower. Time dilation is purely relative. If we attain the speed of light, time would ultimately stop. So this is the wonderful concept of time dilation. I hope you got an intuitive idea, and thanks for watching.